Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all on the panel for this very, very important hearing in the subject matter that we're talking about today. As has already been referenced, the Trump administration has a focus on scaling apprenticeships with the goal of reaching and surpassing 1 million new active apprentices as part of his Executive Order 14278 that was titled Preparing Americans for High-Paying Skilled Trade Jobs in the Future. And as you know, to reach this goal, the administration has taken steps to reduce administrative barriers within the registered apprenticeship system and provide additional resources to states, additional resources to territories to increase the capacity of registered apprenticeship programs and to highlight the apprenticeships opportunities during the National Apprenticeship Week. So, Mr. Ross, I want to just come to you. There was something you said in your written testimony that I had read prior to getting here this morning that struck me. And you discussed the fact, and I quote, "Workforce shortages and untapped talent sit side by side, often in the same building." So how has Reach University worked to correct that issue?
Well, thank you for the question, and it is really an opportunity when you think about it. We should embrace the talent in communities so people can rise up where they come from. Lots of times, there are communities where teachers come from somewhere else and nurses come from somewhere else. Well, they can also come from where you are. One of the things we did is we made sure that our costs could be controlled. Higher ed has had 50 plus years of living with the assumption that there's unlimited debt without underwriting. And that's, I think, created a skyrocketing cost of higher education. So we really addressed this first by making a commitment that no one would pay out of pocket more than $75 a month. And the rest would be covered by the employer, workforce dollars, and the like, Pell Grant as well.
Well, that's huge. And the Trump administration has made a concerted effort to focus on outcomes and not simply just completion in workforce development programs. And I think that's a critically important point. And I'd like to know, Mr. Ross, can you share how the apprenticeship degree graduates compare with the traditional graduates in terms of employment and their earnings outcomes?
Well, thank you for the question. At Reach University and at the other universities working with our National Center for the Apprenticeship Degree, we're seeing stronger completion rates, stronger licensure rates, and wage gains. Let me give an example. The average completion rate for someone with an associate degree when they transfer into a four-year institution is less than 25% in 2 years. And in these apprenticeship degree programs at Reach, it's well over 70% within 2 years. Wow. And that is a very big difference because the job and the higher education and the training are all woven together. Another thing we're seeing is learners are choosing apprenticeship degree programs when they have an option. The College of New Jersey, with our help at the center, launched a master's degree in mental health counseling. They offered it both as an apprenticeship and also a traditional pathway. 70% of the applicants chose the apprenticeship pathway. So we're beginning to see in the emergence of this model really solid data, and I certainly hope it grows.
Well, those are definitely significant. Ms. Angel, there's a growing problem in the United States that we're facing, and that's the mismatch between the skills employers need and the preparation that many workers receive through the traditional education and training pathways. Across the country, we see that while there are millions of job openings, employers are still having difficulty recruiting workers with the skills they need to fill the positions in high-demand industries. And while we want to ensure that the local labor market needs are met with apprenticeship programs, how do your programs at Caliber Collision account for differences across all the communities that you serve?
Sure. Thank you for the question. I appreciate that. You know, we're definitely a shop-by-shop basis for us. Everything is very dependent upon the location. Do they need an apprentice? Do they have an available mentor? We have a model set up for anyone to embrace, but it's about the people in that location. Cars are everywhere. We should be able to train anywhere and get you close to where you want to live. We operate currently in several rural communities where there may not be access to some higher education, so it becomes even more critical in those communities that we have our own program, our own people are able to create that journey for those apprentices.
And I was quite interested that in your testimony, you mentioned that North Carolina was a major hub for your program. Can you just quickly discuss, and our time's about out, the impact that hub has had in moving North Carolinians into the workforce in North Carolina?
Absolutely. We have a Changing Lanes program in North Carolina where we work with Fayetteville Technical Community College to transition military members into civilian life, where every member is guaranteed job placement upon completion of a 12-week apprentice program offered at that school.
Awesome.